Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Rowell. Alright, I am on my new weekend now. This is actually a Saturday-Sunday weekend like normal because we're still on the maintenance cycle at work. That continues for 2 more days. Monday and Tuesday I'll be doing 8-hour days and then coming home early. Wednesday I'm off, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday I'm back onto the normal 12-hour schedule. So anyway, just so you know where we're coming from here. I think what I want to do, when I was in my home in California, I used to have a surround system attached to my TV. I have not been able to do that since I moved here yet, because right before I moved from California, I had a catastrophic failure of my tuner. I was watching a movie one night and there was a loud pop, and that was all she wrote. So I don't know exactly what happened. I wasn't particularly running the tuner very loud. It was, loud enough for the movie, but it wasn't, I wasn't pushing the limits in any way. So something just failed. And so I think today what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to Best Buy and buy a new tuner, and the balance of this weekend I think is going to be setting up the surround system. That's going to involve a little bit of woodwork too, because I'm going to build some custom shelves to hold the components. So it all starts with a trip to Best Buy, and the local one here in Waco doesn't have the particular tuner I want, but the one down in Temple does. So I'm going to drive to Temple. That's about 30 miles away, and we're going to pick up a new tuner, and then we'll go forward from there. Now I could get the tuner delivered to me, but if they deliver it to me, they're saying it's going to arrive on Thursday, and I'm going to be at work on Thursday, and I just don't really want to have a tuner sitting out on my front porch all day long. This is a pretty safe neighborhood, but why tempt it, right? Alright, we're in the master bathroom right now, and I'm not really going to do anything here, but I kind of noticed something a few days ago, and I wanted to show you and let you guys tell me what you think. I was looking at the tiles here, and it actually looks like there's like faces in the tiles. This one here looks like a face here, kind of a profile. There's another one here. It's kind of weird, kind of natural stone, but they have kind of, like I said, it looks like there's people in there. Kind of spooky, huh? There's Buc-ee's. All right, so I got what I'm looking for. That's the box right there. I don't know what's going on, if the world's changing in terms of home theater sound and they're just not selling that many of these 5.1, 7.1, 9.1 systems anymore. Or it's something to do with the coronavirus or something. I don't really know, but selection just for these things just isn't very good anymore. I even went, I went over to my local Best Buy a few weeks ago looking at this. I've been thinking about this for, a month or two, that I was going to have to get this going again. And I went over to my local Best Buy. They had no selection. I even went to Amazon.com. There just isn't a whole lot. I don't know. Like I said, is the world moving away from 5.1 to something else? And if so, what? I don't know. They got a lot of these sound bars, but you're not going to get good 5.1 on a single speaker in front of your TV. So, I don't know what's going on, but I got a 5.1 system. Unfortunately, I had to get the speakers that come with it, because even though I already have speakers and all that, but what we'll probably end up doing is I'll end up hanging my old speakers on this system, and I think those speakers are better quality, because I paid more for those speakers alone than I paid for this whole bundle of the tuner and the speakers. So I don't know. This one's got some nice features though. It's got Bluetooth and it's got networking abilities and stuff like that. So this will be a good system, I think. Oh, and I got to admit, this was the second good experience I've had at a Home Depot, where I go in and the salespeople just leave you alone. So I don't know. Like I said, maybe there's positive end to this whole coronavirus nonsense. I did notice, however, that there is a Home Depot in the same center. So I'm going to go run over and check that place out, and let's see what we could get over there. Because I got to get materials if I'm going to build shelves and some other stuff like that. So I also need some more shock chemical for my pool, and I think I can get that here. So it turns out that this particular Home Depot didn't have any of the shock chemical that I needed. Actually they did, but they had like in single-use packets, and since I'm shocking my pool once a week, I don't want to run to Home Depot every week. I got a 5-gallon bucket of stuff from Leslie's Pool Supply before, and I think I'll just go back there and get another 5-gallon bucket of that. That worked really well. And I was just hoping that I could find some, an alternative to going to Leslie's that maybe was a little less expensive. But Home Depot didn't have it. I was also looking at the lumber, and I decided against getting the lumber here just because since I got the tuner in the back seat, that means I can't fold down the back seat and put the lumber in the trunk. So I think what I'll do is I'll bring the tuner home and then we'll just hit Home Depot by my place and get the stuff there. Once I get the tuner out of the back seat, then I can fold the seat down and take the lumber home. So I think that'll just be easier. All right, let's open this up and see what we got. All right, so this pretty much worked out as I expected. The tuner seems like it's a pretty good tuner. It has some really good specs. I was happy with the power output that it has, but I was thinking I wish I could have gotten just the tuner without the speakers. Fortunately, the speakers are very, very, very cheap. They're not very big, so they're not going to move a lot of air. The truth is, I've blown better speakers than these. These are just, they're in a plastic enclosure. You know, they're just not going to last very long. Subwoofer itself seems like it's pretty good. It'd probably hold up pretty well. And then one of the other things I noticed, they included a speaker wire, and that's what they included for speaker wire. Now, if you know anything about high-end audio or even mid-level audio, you need a better wire than that to transmit your the audio to your speakers. And the truth is, on the old system, I had that for wire. So, you know, you do the math. Which one do you think is going to be better? So we're going to use this tuner and my old speakers. Yeah, just for a little comparison here. Yeah, these are the speakers I'm planning on using. And those are little teeny tiny babies that came with the tuner. That's a little tiny baby center speaker. And yeah, that's the one we're going to use. You can even tell the difference in the subwoofers, right? Yeah, that'll move some air, that'll rattle some windows. That's what you want with a good surround system. So we're definitely going to replace all the stuff that came with it with the stuff I already have. Like I said, I spent more on these Polk speakers than the whole thing here cost. So, you know, it's definitely worth it. That's like $1,000 worth of speakers there, just the ones I bought from the previous system. So it makes perfect sense to reuse those. And I don't know, we'll find something to do with those. Those would be cute little speakers, maybe in the yard or something like that when I need to broadcast audio outside or something like that. But that's not suitable for a home surround system. I'll end up launching those things off the wall with some of the audio I'll put in there. So wimpy, 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 hefty, 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 wimpy, hefty. So now we kind of have to enter design mode. I kind of want to figure out where I want to have everything. Obviously, the front speakers are going to go on this side and on this side. The center speaker I want to have right beneath it. And ideally, I'd have the tuner on one side and the DVD and cable box on the other side. I actually think there's enough room to make that work because the TV is 53.5 inches wide. The center speaker itself is 20 inches wide, and so that leaves me about 16 inches on each side for the tuner and the other devices. And I think if they hang out a little bit on each side, it probably won't matter that much. But then we have to figure out how we're going to route the wiring over to get the surround speakers up here. And this is going to be another complication here because ideally the center speakers are going to go on this little wall right up here, and that won't be a problem over here because there's a good 24 inches there. But we start getting really, really shallow here, so it may get to the point where where one of the surround speakers goes like right here, and I get it as far this way as I can before it begins hanging down below the ceiling, because that won't look good. I don't think it'll be good if I put it over here because you don't want to have them at different heights because that's going to affect the audio quality. You kind of want to have them, you know, it's all got to kind of be figured out based on what you call the sweet spot. And the sweet spot for me is going to be this chair. And so, you know, we got to figure out what the central axis down the room, you know, the chair is centered right in front of the TV. And so I need to have, you know, extend that center line up to here and then have the speakers on this wall equidistant off of the center on each side. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to run the wire. I think that probably won't be too bad. I'll probably just run it up along this beam here. And I don't think anyone will see that. And, you know, in terms of running the wires over here, that'll be easy because I can just hide it behind the TV. You won't even see it. So, yeah, I think this will work. So, Anyway, I think that is all that I have for today's video. Come back tomorrow and we're going to start working on some shelves for this thing. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night. Okay, so I've found some interesting creatures in my house before, but this is a first. At least for here. We have some sort of a gecko or a chameleon or something that actually got into the house, was in the cat's room, and actually managed to somehow scurry around the room without the cats noticing it. I wouldn't have seen it at all except for the fact that he moved when I was giving the cat some water. So we safely captured him, and we're going to let him go out here in the backyard. I think he'll do much better out here. No cats out here. There he goes. Well, hello. Aren't you pretty?